Well, hello, Crime Stoppers. It's a Merry Christmas. Hope you had a lovely Thanksgiving. Ah, um, for those of you that are still fooling around with the mask mandates, maybe you read something. Just saying. Anyway, so much to talk about again, as usual. There's just all kind of crazy things going on. The number one thing they want you focused on is, of course, that thing that happens every 4 years that now we're not even allowed to talk about on Facebook or on YouTube. Brah. It's a little crazy. Let me get my sunglasses here. Okay. Oh man, hat here. So how much? I mean, there's so much to talk about. It's crazy. But if you talk about certain things, they won't let you. So let's talk about the Chinese. Looks like what you're seeing here, and it's becoming very clear. And if you do your research, you can find much information about the fact, and it's just coming out now too. I'll try to put some links down if you look for it. Those naughty Chinese have infiltrated business and government and all kinds of stuff, and their papers are coming out because there are Chinese dissidents that are, which is one of the reasons why, because they own places like this and all other manner of media outlets, and they make sure that they practice Chinese principles, the CCP. I mean, freedom of speech, fuck that, none of that for us. So those that are beholden to the CCP make sure that, you don't have any free speech rights, and I'm understanding that in the next, I'm going to say 90 days, much of this will be restored. What you just witnessed was one of the largest sting operations in the history of sting operations. It was huge. Nobody just does a sting operation like Trump. Trump does the best sting operations. His operations are like no other. Nobody else does sting operations like Trump. He does the best sting operations, promise. But special forces involved. I mean, huge amounts of special forces involved. You can look if you want to, if you track military stuff and you know how to track military stuff with tail numbers and so forth. There are websites to let you know who's where and what's what, and they don't hide it very well. But C-31 transports, all the big birds are flying. The Ospreys were flying. There is all manner of stuff to, they were, but they're not gonna, don't worry about that. But they were, as we speak, there are all manner of operations going on right now. Can't talk about them. Simple as that. But if you think that Donnie didn't see this all coming, and didn't understand that he had to allow them to abscond with a certain procedure that happens every 4 years, you're fooling yourselves. They knew exactly what was coming. They had all manner of things. Okay, so here's the thing. Geez, how long has this been? I don't even know anymore. It's been years, though. It's been years. It's been more than 4 years, 5, 6, 7, 10 years. I don't know. Quite a few years ago, some people in the intelligence community were, how shall I say, tipped off? I don't know. That's not the right word. But anyway, became aware of the fact that the Chinese were doing their Chinese thing, and that the United States is the thing that's in the way. And so they are practitioners of Sun Tzu just as well as our guys are. And they understood that by deception, that's the way you do war. So if you're going to take down a country that's got millions and millions and millions of people with guns, the best way to do it is not by direct force. The best way to do it is by infiltrating business, infiltrating media, infiltrating sports, infiltrating governments, infiltrating the judiciary, putting your guys in all over the place. And some of those guys are so obvious, it's painful. In California, for example, the guys that were pushing for the pharmaceuticals to become mandatory were in fact Chinese. And the drugs or vaccines that they were trying to get you to take were manufactured by the Chinese. This is just good marketing. What better way to make it to sell your product than to get governments in California, for example, or in all over the place, to make it so that children can't even go to school without getting the vaccine? How that's should be fairly easy for people to understand. Doesn't seem to be that difficult. What? Sure. Right here. You're contacting me right now. What do you mean? My email address shouldn't be hard to come by. And if it's not, I'll put it down there. Search Crouton Ramon on the internet. If you can't make, you're no kind of reporter if you can't get in touch with me, because all you got to do is search Crouton Ramon. It is unique on the entire internet. My addresses and everything are there. It's not hard. This is the 100 Monkey channel, but it's Crouton Ramon. This is not hard. Yeah, I can just say it. I just did. Crouton Ramon. How hard is this? Crouton Ramon. And it's Crouton Ramon at okay, obviously. Crouton Ramon at Gmail, and let's see, Crouton Ramon for math at Gmail. Let's see. Anyway, it's all there. Just go type Crouton Ramon into any freaking search engine, and all my information comes up. Anyhow, the idea being is that the Chinese, it's Russia, but actually it's China, into all manner of, when you get to the bottom of the election fraud, all the fingers are going to point at the CCP. When you get to the bottom of the miseducation of your fellow man via the media, it's going to be the CCP. When you get to the point where you start understanding just how pervasive these guys are and what they were doing, and then understand that the CCP is part of the CIA and other three-digit agencies and part of the deep state, and the deep state owns both U.S. corporation and China corporation. They have all of those legal fictions under their control. These things that you thought were governments, these things that you thought had authority over you, these things that you thought had jurisdiction over your person and can manage your estate without your consent. Yeah, these things do not. But they know that you thought that they did, and they know that if you see it on TV, well, maybe not this crowd, but many of your friends, if they see it on TV, they think it's the real deal. When it comes to medical tyranny, do you notice that Wuhan is open? Do you notice that Chinese are not locked down? Who did they lock down? Oh, they locked down Hong Kong. What's happening to the Hong Kong economy? I mean, these guys are brilliant. And it's not so much that they're brilliant, is that the Bubis Americanus is so fucking stupid, it's painful. Anyway, here are some fundamental things for you to contemplate. I think I went over this already, but who claims my property? That's a simple question to ask. When you're writing these documents, here, wait, I'll read you a document that I wrote. Now, the trick was, oops. Oh, hold the phone. This is not the right document. Oh my goodness. I thought I had it right here, and apparently I don't. Oh, well, there's that. And here's this, but that's not, uh-oh. Oh dear. Oh, because it's right there. All right, it just fell behind some stuff. All right, got it. All right. And see, this is the written thing. This is the typed thing. Okay, because I want to give them, so there can be no question with my chicken scratch that there is, all right, so, season's greetings. Please correct your records to reflect the following. I am Ben Hosea. Ben Hosea is man. Ben Hosea am I. I, man. Real simple. I can find no evidence that Ben Hosea and the living man is the same as the legal fiction whom I am authorized to represent and for whom I act as agent. Namely, these four guys, right, that are listed here. All right, so I am not authorized to represent just Ben Rogers. Everybody calls me Ben Rogers. Ben Rogers, go look up Ben Rogers, right? Why is it Crouton Ramon, you monkeys? It's Crouton Ramon because Crouton Ramon is unique on the entire internet. There's another Ben Rogers right here in Makwa, right? there's like three of us in Makwa, in this tiny little town on this tiny little island in the middle of the Pacific. You know how many of them there are in Los Angeles? You know how many of them there are in Houston? You know how many? I mean, go grab a phone book. I used to do this. Grab a phone book and just look at all the listings for Ben Rogers. There are many Ben Rogers. Anyway, this is my letter that I wrote. See, and I'm correcting them because look, they put Ben Rogers on the letter, right? And there's my address and everything. I don't give a shit. I don't live there. That's my residence. Right? Anyway, it's far away from where I am right now because that's a private mailbox. You should have a private mailbox. That's a depository. But basically, it says that the judiciary courts of the state of Hawaii are not. What do you call it? What's the word? What are the words I'm looking for? Tax exempt. Wait, yeah, tax exempt. Non-taxable government entities. Yeah. There you go. Not-for-profit, tax-exempt, not-for-profit government entities. Yeah, the judiciary for the state of Hawaii is not that. The judiciary for the state of, wait a minute, the judiciary courts of the state of Hawaii. See, that's the thing. You got to find the exact name. You got to find that exact search stream when you are looking for their DUNS numbers and stuff, because if it doesn't match, and that's why when you do your paperwork, it's got to be exact, right? Because otherwise your search string doesn't work in their records and people get, all right. So anyway, judiciary courts of the state of Hawaii, that is a private, they got a DUNS number. That is a private corporation. That is a service corporation. That's part of the service corporation known as State of Hawaii, which is part of the service corporation known as United States. You think United States and State of Hawaii are states and a republic, or that State of Hawaii is a state within the Republic of the United States of America, when actually, no, it's just a service corporation that you've been pledged to since birth because mommy and daddy were just as ignorant as we were and thought that those things were actual republics. No, they're service corporations, and they own your ass until you tell them different. And the way they do it is by declaring you dead. It's called unlawful conversion. And when you give them that birth certificate, you give them your estate to manage. Simple as that. Anyway, let's see here. What else did I put on this letter? I am not authorized to represent Ben Rogers because I'm not. Anywhere in commerce has always had a capital letter in there or my middle name or something. All right, that has to be the same thing with you. Oh, and by the way, take a moment. And if you know who April Lejeune is, go write April Lejeune an email. There's not thousands of people that are going to swamp her with this because there's 5 people watching. Go ask April Lejeune, hi, I would like your red hard drive, or excuse me, your red thumb drive and your blue thumb drive. It's basically a bunch of documents she'll send you. And see, what she was complaining about in one of the videos I was watching is that people were taking letters off the blue thumb drive and sending them in before they had done the stuff on the red thumb drive. See, because you got to put your socks on before you put your shoes on. And now is the time for you guys to pay attention. Write letters like this to IRS. Write letters to, oh, you can't see it because it's off screen, but I got a list of people to write to. Let's see here. I got to write, who do I got to write to? I got to write the IRS. That's this right here. It's actually been done. I got to write the police. I got to write the sheriff. Let them know that there's a man here and that you don't get to manage my estate without my consent. Let's see here. Who else? Oh, got to write some Article 3 judges. Got to write a bunch of people. DLNR for another one here on Maui. That's the Department of Land and Natural Resources. And just let them know you don't get to manage my estate without my consent, right? You're going to give me orders. You better write your orders and sign them, right? And I might, then be inclined to obey your orders, but not for free. Let's see here. So I told them how to write my name correctly with the dash and the colon. That is my given Christian name. Ben Hosea is of the house of the family of Rogers. The Rogers family were slave owners out of Alabama. The Boone family were slave owners out of Virginia. I mean, you can name these people, right? They have gone back. It's only a few generations, but see, they turned you into slaves. They didn't tell you your history. They didn't tell you it was important to hand down your history. Most of you can't name your grandfather's great grandfather, even if you, and you wouldn't be able to go look it up in a book. Most of you, many people can. Many people I know have all that stuff written down. There's a member in my family that wrote all that stuff down. And went back multiple generations, all the way back to Lithuania on one side, and back to I mean, anyway, they did their research, and figured out who was related to who and who begat who and so forth. That's kind of important because they consider you an infant of unknown origin, and whose estate needs to be managed by them. And you know, they're doing you a favor. They're taking care of you. They're writing bonds and, you know, all kind of stuff to take care. They see these trustees. So what you got to do is you got to fire these motherfuckers. Look, it's the next sentence. I am not an infant of unknown origin. I know my parents and my grandparents. My father was born in New York. My mother was born in, or excuse me, I skipped ahead on the page. My father was born in New York. His father was born in Alabama. His father was born in Alabama, as was his father before him. My mother was born in Iowa, as was her mother before her, right? And I'm not going to get into all this other stuff because it gets to right, where I was born and so forth, but I know where I was born. I'm non-decedent. My master file should read MFR01. You need to understand this. That's what your master file should read. Your individual master file that they're going to say that you don't have, which you do have. Libbity hibbity. Here's a good word for you to learn. Absolute. I claim absolute authority to administer my own estate. I revoke power of attorney from the service corporations known as United States, State of Hawaii, and County of Maui, among others. Right? Right? Because when you make a list like this, inclusion of one is exclusion of another, unless you put not limited to or among others or so forth. That makes it clear that that's not the entire list. So when you see in USC 26 includes public office, it excludes everything else. But public office includes pretty much everything. As the Masons will tell you, ain't but one business out there. Commerce. Let's see here. What am I at? Among others, their officers, agent. Okay, let me start over. I revoke power of attorney. See, I'm just straight, right? I have the power to bestow power of attorney. I can give an attorney my power of attorney so he can file documents for me. I've given the guy that has the post office power of attorney to sign for packages for me. Limited power of attorney, by the way. He can't sign everything. He can't sign a check for me, for example. He can't sign a mortgage, but he can sign for packages. Let's see here. Liberty, where else am I? Okay, so I revoke power of attorney from the service corporations known as United States, State of Hawaii, and County of Maui, among others, their officers, agents, and employees, and any person acting on their behalf, acting as agents for these people. I waive no right. I have never knowingly waived any right. Look at that. That's his own little paragraph. I ain't waiving any rights. Never, and you can't trick me anymore. And see, in other letters, I'm going to write, I do not wish to be deceived any further. Right? In the past, I kind of went along with it after I found out all this and tried to keep my head down, paid all my fees, got my licenses, and so on. And so, yeah, that time's gone. The day that they tried to get me to put a mask on when I was crossing the fucking street in front of my house, they crossed the line, and that's it. Now I'm no longer their friend. Let's see, and they have made it clear, obviously, that they're not mine. Let's see here. I waive no right. I've never knowingly waived any right. No officer or any other person may vote by proxy for me or my legal fiction, name, trade, or business. Wait a minute. Let me read this. Me or any legal fiction, name, trade, any legal fiction, name, trade, or business I own or am authorized to represent, or for which I act as agent. And see, this is all written in handwriting, right? Given by my own hand, but I'm giving them a letter so they can read it. Okay. No officer or other person may vote by proxy for me or I just read that. Let's see. If I am in error, please correct me. If I am in error, please correct me. Oops. That is, how did that happen? Okay. I got a good thing I read this over because I just noticed that that's there. All right, so I got to retype that. It's there twice. It's messed up. Anyway, I know of no other who has knowledge to the contrary. The above is true and correct to the best of my knowledge, and I affirm same under penalty of perjury under Exodus 20:16. If you read under Exodus 20:16, that's thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. I have a safe and happy holiday season, and then I'm going to sign it over here. Simple. And it's a notice. That's just a notice to the IRS saying, hey, I'm not dead. It's way too many words. I should have just, right? I'm probably going to follow up with a much shorter letter that just says, hey, I'm not dead, right? I'm non-decedent. Please change your records from decedent to non-decedent. And my thing should read MFR1. Here's my IDs. Here's a copy of my birth certificate. Have a nice day, right? Short. See, even that's too long, even though it's one page. Okay. A short letter like that needs to go out to the Attorney General of your state, the Governor of your state, Attorney General, Governor. You might want to inform an Article 3 judge in your state that covers your district. You may want to write your former district representative and senator in that service corporation that thinks that they represent you because you probably gave them a document that's called voter registration form. Which turns you into a voter, not an elector. You are no longer an L. You is a slave. You may want to write certain people and ask them who claimed your property. You may want to write certain people and ask them who can administer your property without right, who can produce obligation or contract upon which they rely. You may want to decide that you don't want to use the word property and you want to use the word estate. Who claimed my estate? Who can administer my estate without right, who can produce obligation or contract upon which they rely to administer my estate without consent, right, or reason. Right? Give me a reason why you think you should be able to administer my estate. Give me a reason why you think you have a superior claim over myself or my property. Let's see here. What else is on this? Not that one. I've got many more documents, but the idea being, my friends, is then you need, and see, before you need to have standing, before you can go accuse, and so you may want to send notice to your governor that you are suing for breach of gubernatorial license, for contempt of Constitution. It should be clear if you're listening to the news and all the stuff that's going on, the governor can't rewrite the laws for the legislature when it comes to procedure for voting and so forth. Are they allowed to do that? I don't think they are. In fact, they've made it very clear that they are not. So if they can't do that, can they tell you to go buy a piece of cloth and put it on your face? Can they tell you to go buy a mask, especially when on the very box itself, it says this doesn't work, doesn't help, will not protect you. It says it right on the box. So anyway, and then there's Title 18. I went over all the Title 18. There's so much Title 18. They are in violation of Title 18 over and over and over again. Again, you don't put that in the body of your letter. You put that as an attachment. Okay, so then you notice these people, governors and attorney generals, and your did I put it here? I did not put it here. Risk management for your state, risk management for your county. Hey, you guys are at risk because you're violating constitutional violations, come with hefty penalties. And I'm noticing you that I intend to sue. I'm not going to sue right now because I don't have standing. But when my standing changes, you're going to get sued. All right? So you give them notice and you give them opportunity to reply. This is hugely important. Opportunity to reply is basically, okay, show me that the box on the mask doesn't say that it, I'm sure you've read it and I'm sure you've seen the memes that it provides you no protection against COVID. Show me where rules and orders can circumvent my First Amendment right to gather and worship, my First Amendment right. I mean, yeah, right, or whatever, right? It's there in the Constitution. Again, the Constitution isn't there to give you rights. It's there to protect the rights you already have, the unalienable rights that you were given by God, not by not by some constitution and a bunch of Masons a couple hundred years ago. You already had the rights. The police and judges and member officers and other agents of these service corporations are supposed to be protecting your rights. That's their number one job. But now they're trying to tell you, we're protecting you, and we're protecting your health by making you wear a mask and telling you to stay inside. Without you people apparently understanding that the CCP is ultimately behind most of this. Oh, that's crazy conspiracy theory. Very simple. You don't want to now. And here's the other thing. Go take a look at where are there battle groups. Actually, I just put the video down there. It's a long video. It's like 3 hours. Dave Wilcock doing his Dave Wilcock wild thing. Seeing Edgar, letting you know that yeah, there's a bunch of stuff going on. I was given information a couple of weeks ago. It's been a couple of weeks since I've been here. That the ospreys were flying. That huge amounts of ospreys were flying. Okay, who uses ospreys and what do they use them for? Also, C-31 transports are flying. All the big birds are flying all over the place, and they're moving troops, and they're moving ships, and. But I doubt seriously that there will be any kind of, because there's one story that goes like this. The Democrats, when they finally figure out that they couldn't rig the election and that they weren't able to install Biden and Harris into the White House, are going to throw a hissy fit, and then they're going to try in the state of New York to get the UN to pass resolutions to uninstall him. As much as possible, or well, as efficiently as possible is what I'm trying to say. That they're going to take his landslide victory and convert it into a win for Biden. No, they're not. Now, here's the thing. And there are those that are saying that because they want to try to convert their landslide victory and they couldn't, and now they're going to say, well, let's get the UN in here and remove him forcibly. And the primary movers and shakers for the UN will be Chinese troops in blue helmets. That could be true, I suppose. But the idea is the dogs will unite against the wolf. So if you want to unite the American people, I'm very confident that even dim-witted Democrats wouldn't be behind Chinese troops in our streets. They might even start shooting at them. But I doubt very seriously that they would try to land Chinese troops here or march them across the border from Canada or Mexico or whatever the conspiracy theory is, because that would unite the American people, and they don't want us united. They want us divided. There might be a few in the CCP-owned Black Lives Matter group and Antifa that would actually side with Chinese troops because they've become so mind-washed that they think it would behoove them to join the Chinese in overthrowing Trump inside the United States. But they're going to find out the hard way and the fast way that that's not going to work here. The things that they've tried elsewhere, and you see that these are the exact same plans, the exact same modus operandi that they used in China, and they used in Russia, and they used in Germany, and they've used it successfully numerous times. This time they just package it slightly differently, right? They just put a mask over this one. They just put medical tyranny over this one. They just rebranded the common cold and sold you fear porn via the media, and now they fully are understanding that they bit off a little more they can chew, or more than they could chew. And what's Trump doing? He's watching football. Go Army, beat Navy. Go Navy, beat Army. I've actually watched that game a long time ago. Oh my God, when was that? That was like 82, I think. I was actually in the stands watching Army beat Navy, and I don't remember who won the game because I could care less. And we got in trouble for throwing paper airplanes from the top deck. We turned our what do you call the game cards, or the little things, that tell you all the stuff and about the stadium and all the amenities and so forth. They gave us all a little card, right? A little piece of paper, and it was thick. It was thicker than regular paper. So of course we turned them into paper airplanes and threw them off because we're midshipmen. We're in the cheap seats. We don't get to sit down there and near the game or anything. We're way the fuck up there. So anyway, that's what I remember about that game. I don't remember who won. I just remember us getting locked down because they figured out that they couldn't. At the time, they didn't have cameras. This is the 80s. They didn't have cameras all over fucking everything. But they knew what section it came out of. And none of us would cop to it, so we all got in trouble. That's what I remember. Anyway, Trump is watching the game. There's Pepe the Frog in a picture. There's a great picture of him walking out on the field and the one guy with the white cap. And anyway, in the background, if you look carefully in the background, Pepe the Frog is there in the background. Trump ain't worried about this. They got this in hand. And it's a good show. It's a good show. The reality TV show guy is putting on Fortress America. This season is off the hizzock. There is so much going on. I can't even cover it all in one video. And they won't let me. If I talk about everything that I want to talk about, they'll either strike the video or strike the whole channel. But here's the other thing that's good news. I'm going to go 60 to 90 days. All the channels will be restored. YouTube will be restored. You're going to find out about the Chinese infiltration of various social media websites and companies. You're going to find out about Chinese infiltration into your government. You're going to find out that, it was Chinese that pretty much installed the machines that counted the votes for this election, that was going to put their guy in. Their guy is going to wind up in prison. This is all in the bag. It just takes time. In the meantime, what I've been doing is Duolingo. Find me on Duolingo. It's basically a program that teaches you language. It's far superior to wasting your time on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram with idiots that can't even figure out that the election was rigged. There are people that are so ridiculous out there that they're like, election fraud? What election fraud? Those are mostly Democrats. For 4 years, Russia. They cheated Bernie. They cheated Bernie again. And you guys are thinking that Trump didn't see this coming and that they didn't set this up and that Special Forces wasn't involved and that this doesn't have to do with treason or anything like that. It's just a couple of guys stuffing ballots and, no big deal. It's bigger than that. Further, understand that this is much more important than just the United States. This is worldwide. These fuckers have been pulling this off in nation after nation after nation. They've finally been caught here. They tried to pull it off in our nation, and our guys aren't having it. Simple as that. So you're going to see all manner of wildness, not just in the United States, but in Venezuela and in certain African nations, all over the place where they have used these Dominion machines. And there's even a video, or not a video, but WikiLeaks, some email and other, you can get all kind of information on this. But basically what that thing said, or the thing that I'm thinking about, shoot, I don't have it up so I can read it. Oh, actually, maybe I can find that. But basically what they're saying is that, there's about 4 or 5 companies that deal in electioneering, and this is one of the best ones. So we should use this one. And then we're talking about Dominion. Anyway, them so busted that, oh my God, they're so busted. And then understand, Sidney Powell, that's UCMJ, motherfuckers. UCMJ is a whole nother animal. And do you remember NDAA signed by, what was the guy's name? Obama. That's right, Obama. He signed this thing that said that he can declare anybody he wants an enemy combatant, but he didn't even have to tell you. He can keep it a secret. You can be an enemy combatant in secret. I could be an enemy combatant right now. If they didn't tell me, I wouldn't know. So guess what? I bet you there's been a few people that's been declared enemy combatant. They have enemy combatant status right now. Yeah, check into it. What happens to enemy combatants? Okay, so if you understand what's coming and that nothing, and I mean nothing fucking stops what's coming, then you would be happy. Like I said, all the people I know who are Anons or members of the Q-tard family, or well, actually a lot of Q-tards are upset right now because they're MAGA. But the Anons and the 3-letter guys that I know, they're all they're practically giddy. They're not concerned. It's like, okay, let's say you have overwhelming force and you know you're going to win the battle, right? Okay. But the other guys are not dropping their guns and running. They're still shooting at you and they're still putting up resistance. But you know you got this in the bag, right? Their flanks are done. I mean, it's over, right? And so you're just going in and cleaning up the last bit of resistance. That's where we are in this story. They put up a good fight, sort of, and yeah, they're not winning. It's as simple as that. So if you're expecting that they're just going to be like, oh, you caught us, that's not how it works. It's deny and defend until the end. And it's also let those who wish to be deceived. But the deny and defend to the end thing, yeah, they are going to be making sure that they don't give up without every bit of ground won from here on out is going to come at a cost. Oh, speaking of that, I don't have one here. Yes, I do. We'll do this. They killed my friend Brandi. Simple as that. She was a let me get that. If you don't know who Brandi Vaughn was, she started this site called Learn the Risk. So go to that site. But she is no longer with us. Details are very, very sketchy. All I know is that her son, what the fuck? What in the actual fuck just happened? Get out of here. I've never seen my computer do that before. Holy cow. Okay, that was fun. My computer's been doing a lot of interesting stuff lately. All right, let's try this. All right, fine. Good God. So here's what I'd like to do, just because. It's 1 minute of silence. She is, it was a good woman. I think she was like 49. There's a website, on her website, she tells you that she's not suicidal. She's in good health. Her house is basically a fortress. She knew that the job was dangerous when she took it, and she did it anyway. See, that's called courage. Right? A lot of people think, oh, they're going to come after you. They're not coming after me. I'm just some fucking loser on YouTube with, you know, when I do a live broadcast, 9 people follow, and I don't have a massive website, and I don't fill auditoriums full of people and try to inform them about the fact that vaccines damage you. But Brandi did. And she understood that, yeah, they'd rather her not, and that they would go to the ultimate length to silence her bitch ass because she was out there saying things that they didn't want you to hear. And see, we had this discussion, actually, and I'll show you a video of me and her talking about vax damage. But we also had many other discussions. And one of the discussions was, I don't think it's worth it. I don't think it's worth it to try to wake these people up. She did. She was willing to give her life to wake you people up. I don't think her son will agree now that he's going to be raised motherless. And dad isn't in the picture, or wasn't. I don't know what the deal is there, but I know that she was raising that boy by herself, and now she's not there anymore. And it was him that found his mother. Like I said, the job that you have is to get from one end of this thing to the other end of this thing without casualty. But try to understand that there is no war possible. There has never been a war that happens with 0 casualty. The thing with Sun Tzu is to try to make the casualty as few as possible and to win without firing a shot. But, you know, shots have been fired. You just haven't heard about them. Servers have been obtained. Resistance to that was squelched. There are many people. There's a lot going on. Like I said, I'll put a link to the videos below, and you can decide what's true and what's not for yourself. But understand that this is bigger than just Donnie going into the White House. This is us getting welcomed into the family, as it were. And the violent AIDS having monkeys are not getting out of quarantine anytime soon. Let's put it that way. Anyway, a moment of silence for my friend Brandi. Seriously, she gave it all. She gave it all. She did everything she could, and her reward. And she was see, I don't look at it the way you guys look at it. She won this this part of the simulation, she's the winner. I'm still here, so and I haven't been even kicked off of YouTube. That's how little I matter. All the big boys got kicked off of YouTube. All the big boys are having some, getting some attention that they don't want. I'm just some little guy here on Maui. So yeah, I wouldn't worry too terribly much about me. And because I get that every once in a while when I don't make a video for a couple of weeks, or I just disappear for a month or two. Yeah, they ain't coming after me. I doubt it severely, because you know how much that one hit, right? And see, this is the thing. Trump is making it so that their resources are disappearing. If you take a look, take a look at what happened to the CIA. Their funding is gone, and the United States military basically said, we ain't backing you up anymore. Your operatives that are in foreign lands doing bad things, yeah, we're not extracting them, we're not backing them up, we're not going to support with military force. And the CIA basically lost their funding. So many of their thugs are not going to, the thugs don't work. They're just thugs, and they don't work for free. So if you don't pay them, nothing happens. Anyway, a moment of silence for Brandi. We'll make it 1 minute. Hui ho. Anyway, don't feel bad for her. She won. But you feel bad for everybody she left behind. Okay, let's see here. There'll be plenty of videos down below. Like I said, lots of stuff I want to talk about, but if I try to talk about it, I'll get 86. I know this. Or at least they'll delete the video, at least that much. But you guys need to get your status changed. You need to write your letters. You need to write the various people and let them know that you're alive, that you're non-decedent, and that you're reclaiming your estate, and that you understand the concept that you've been unlawfully converted into a dead thing, and that you are in fact a living thing that represents that dead thing, and you don't want to be deceived anymore. And that when your status gets changed, you're going to be suing some of these fucking people that have violated so many... they're oath breakers. First off, are they upholding the Constitution that they were sworn to uphold? They made a verbal agreement. They swore an oath in order to get those offices. Every one of you, every one of them, whether it's a police officer, your principal at school, on the school board, your representative, your council members, your state representatives, all of them. Your senators and representatives at the federal level, your governors, they all swore an oath to uphold and protect the Constitution. Simple as that. So they're breaking their oaths. So they're in violation. That's bearing false witness right there. But you can't do dick about it until such time as you put your paperwork in. Then you can write an Article 3 judge and say, hey, I expect that we're going to have some time in court, and I'm complaining, and I'm making this claim, and so on. But if you don't know the law well enough to even do that much, anyway, but first step is notice. Step 1 is notice. Then comes step 2 and step 3. But step 1, like I said, April to June, get the red drive, then get the blue drive, look over some of those templates. I just read you a letter that I wrote. I wouldn't copy it down verbatim and write it. Do your own damn thing. But basically, let them know that you're a man or a woman, and that you don't want to be deceived anymore, and that you are going to go through some of the motions that are required for you to get out from under the whore of Babylon, and that you no longer wish to be a member of the corporation, and that you are reclaiming your own estate, and that you can manage your own estate. And as many people have said, once you've claimed your own estate, what's the first thing? You're going to need accounting. So who are you going to write to? hey, by the way, here's my account numbers and so forth. What the fuck's been going on with this for the last, however long you've been alive, since you were 25? I bet you they've written all kinds of bonds on you, and you've signed forms for licenses and mortgages and all. So you need your estate to be rendered unto Caesar over there at the United States Bankruptcy Court on Constitution Avenue, and let them know, hey, I got this estate. It's been managed by all these different people that have had their fingers in the pie and written all kind of shit on this. We need to settle. And then I need an account number from these guys over here. That would be your Treasury Department. And oh, by the way, the Secretary of State, I need some paperwork that allows me to travel, because I have the unalienable right to travel. You can't tell me I can't move from place A to place B on this planet without your permission. That's not your right. So, some paperwork needs to be done. And like I said, it should be, as April Lejeune has said, and as many others have said, is that you should be able to say with your mouth these things and it'd be done. But that's not how it works. There's paperwork that needs to be done. There's forms that need to be filed. It's not going to be free. It's going to cost you money for postage. It's going to cost you money for the green cards, right? The certified mail, so you can prove that you sent it to them, because these people are not in honor. They're going to pretend like if you just sent them a regular letter, they'll say that they never got it. So you send them certified mail, and now there's a signature that says you got it. And now you can use in your next letter 30 days from that date, right? And 30 days from that date, and so on. And then, like I said, 90 days goes by, and you get out from underneath the whore of Babylon. Now you can point your finger and say, hey, what you guys did was wrong. And then you can ask for standing. You can ask for letters of marque and reprisal. You can ask for all kind of things. And see, oh, that was a fun thing with the Supreme Court case that was just rejected. What did he say? They asked permission for leave. Basically what the Supreme Court said was get rid of those two words, for leave. Are you paying attention? Oh, wait. I'll read this to you. I wrote this mostly. Oops. Maybe I didn't. I don't like having Facebook up at the same time I do these videos, because there seems to be a correlation between crashes and problems. Anyway, hold on. Oh, actually, yeah, that's right. So I'm not going to use Facebook. I think I screenshotted that. Hold on. And I'll just read this to you. With regard to the recent case that was just rejected. Let's see here what I do with that. Oh, my. So I got so damn many screenshots, it's gonna be hard to find. It's crazy how much stuff is going on right now. Oh, and see, this is fun. Also, what was Fart's name? Compromised by a Chinese spy. It's hilarious. Come on, it's funny. Anyway, it's not funny that we have people in our government compromised by Chinese spies, but that's been going on forever and ever. It's not like that just started. Oh dear, I can't find it. And you can hear my computer warming up because going through all these documents. Really? Oh, there it is. Okay. So I'll just read this to you. Basically, what you need to understand is, if you've been paying attention and you've been doing your homework, is that the Supreme Court isn't fucking around. They basically said, oh, great. Did everything just freeze? Nope. I just can't find my mouse. All right, fine. All right, so pay attention. The words matter. For leave does not belong in that document, right? Fewest words possible to get your point across, right? So here, I just wrote it here, right? Vir sum, right? Man am, right? V-I-R-S-U-M. I'm telling you, get on Duolingo. It's pretty fun. But the words absolutely matter. Who claims my property? Who administers my property without right? Who produces any obligation upon which you rely? Let them come forward. Swear in, testify against me. I have absolute right to face my claimant. All claims true and correct will be settled. My word is my bond, etc. Notice how short and brief that is, right? Every one of those sentences. This admonishment by actual justices, not service corporation administrators, whom you think are judges, to get every fucking word right in a matter of such importance. Right? So this is an admonishment by them. They are not fucking around. All of you who are familiar with Carl Lenz will know the fewest words possible. Pay attention. The judges have neither authority nor jurisdiction to grant them permission, because that's what they were basically asking for. If you read the thing, they asked for leave. For leave, look it up, you dim-witted monkeys. They are not asking permission to file a bill of complaint. They are filing a bill of complaint. See the difference? Words matter. Learn what the fucking words mean. Then learn who to say them to. Then remove yourself from under the whore of Babylon, whose dramas keep your rapt attention. Turns out all those years of studying law are starting to pay off. I'm fooling around on the 100 Monkey channel and going all these, Jesus, like I've put links before, Carl Lentz and various channels that have all manner of good stuff when it comes to law and understanding our current predicament. Anyway, turns out all those years of studying law are paying off. In Idaho, they always tease me because I would hang out in a former NSA dude's library and read all of his dictionaries all day. It was snowing. There's nothing else to do. So anyway, I laid around and read his dictionaries. And they would tease me. You're reading the dictionary? Yeah. Used to just read the dictionary. Punctuated by him handing me copies of documents with the admonishment, here, read this. Everything you know is wrong. Used to do that all the time. Here, read this. And then it would turn out everything I know is wrong. And he would have all these Xerox pages that because he used to be a reader for, used to be in the reading room, let's put it that way. And see, humans do it better than computers. So they would make him read all manner of information, and then his ability was to put this and this together, or to show, anyway. But he made copies of some of the stuff that he had to read, and he had boxes and boxes and boxes of those documents, all of which were illegal, by the way. He you know, they were all declassified. He didn't try to steal any documents or any information that it wasn't. But some of the stuff that he fucking showed me read like science fiction. And then some of the other stuff read like Indiana Jones when it came to some archaeological digs and some of the stuff that they found. And anyway. So now you'll see that when I write documents like this, I spend hours and hours taking words out, not putting words in. You want Hemingway, not Faulkner. You knock, the door must be open. But you don't ask permission to knock. You just fucking knock. Right? See, because all they were doing is filing a complaint before the Supreme Court. And they started off with permission for leave. They don't need leave. What they need to do is file the fucking complaint. And by the way, this is just the beginning. Oh, and you might want to listen to the words from I'm a Man. That was Chicago. Just for fun. You might want to do that. Okay. I think I've been going long enough. I'm going to close this. If it doesn't, right? I'm scared to do anything while I'm doing live recordings because my computer locks up. But look, I'm still here. What do you know? Okay, so and all kinds of fun stuff in the corner here. All right, what are you guys doing? Yeah. Yep, there you go. I'm just reading over here, sorry. What? Who property trespass? Oh, A Warrior Calls. Yeah. A Warrior Calls. Very good site. Very good site. I put links below before, and go back to other videos and you can see there's a lot of those. And see, yeah, now we're calling you guys. Well, not we, they, us. But first, before you do anything, make sure that you get your status correct. They can't come after you as the dead thing. Because they will. They're going to try and scare you back into the pen. So you need to give them notice, and then you need to give them notice that you're not backing down, and that you're tired of them deceiving you, and that you're tired of them violating the oaths that they were supposed to be upholding, particularly when it comes to the Rona, but also when it comes to this, you know, the elections, all these kind of things. These people, if everybody would just do what they were supposed to do, we wouldn't have so many problems. But as you see, many people are corrupt. Many people are in it for themselves. Many public officials that are supposed to be public servants are serving self, not others. See, this is the thing. Right? 3 things: love God, forgive, and serve. Yeah, they're not doing any of those things. They're breaking their commandments. They're serving themselves. They obviously hate God. And they tell you this all the time, and they're pro-abortion and pro-killing the baby, even after, if it survives the abortion somehow. And yeah, then you kill it after that. Some of the babies, you don't even try to abort. You just have the baby and then make a decision. What? With the doctor and the mom about what to do about the baby. What you do about the baby is born. Now you got to take care of it. That's what you do. There isn't any fucking question here. Somebody just asked me if I was pro-abortion or not. I'm 100% pro-abortion. But not after the heart starts beating. Not in the 9th month, not in the 8th month, not in the 7th month, not in the 6th month. No, 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 no. Unless, of course, something bad happens. Like, and see, I use the word "of course." That's not, shouldn't be in the course. But if that baby is deformed, has been, mom has wound up drinking chemicals or full of toxins or whatever, and has got a baby in her that is deformed and probably or may not even survive, why not just have the abortion? If the baby is in such a way, and this is not so much the case anymore because with modern science, but there was a time when having the baby could kill the mother. Yeah, okay. But other than that, right? And like I said, after morning after pills, got no problem with that. This guy, remember back when I used to, right? This guy didn't have any problem with that either, and he's a gynecologist. But the Democrat Party has turned away from anything that's moral or just or right and gone completely fucking bonkers. And down the path of the CCP, and it becomes very clear that they have been influenced by the CCP and communist leanings and communist thinkings. Guys like Bernie Sanders, who are supposed to be socialists, but the end game for socialism is communism. And every fucking time they try socialism, it fails horribly, and hundreds of millions of people are dead because of socialism. But the bottom line is, you have they have no moral high ground anymore. It's basically ridiculous that these people think that they're going to get away with what they've gotten away with, because they're not. And if you're spending all of your time worried and looking at this election, you got to be careful when you use the word, because apparently you're not allowed to talk about it. But if you have any kind of ability to do any kind of a modicum of research, you can see, and if you can do any kind of mathematics, you can see that this thing was completely rigged. And you had to let them rig it. I was being silly, but you have to let them rig it in order to catch them, so that you can show everybody that they rigged it. And again, this isn't just about the United States. This has been going on in Fiji. This has been going on in Africa. This has been going on in South America. This has been going on in Mexico, in Canada, and not just for the big elections, but for all the little state houses and all in. I mean, they've been using Dominion and other software companies to rig elections for, I don't know, 50 years now, most of your lives. And they finally got caught, and they're finally putting an end to it. Well, some of it. But the bottom line is, nothing's going to be the same after this. And absolutely, positively, I'll take wagers from anybody. And I've got, I don't know, probably got like $2,000 in wagers out right now with various idiots with regard to whether or not Trump gets reelected. Trump got reelected, and now it's just, there's going to be a little shouting in some court cases, and then Trump is going to be president for another 4 years. Biden is going to go, Biden's got a boot. Are you fucking kidding me? Anyway, and certain people are probably going to be able to tell you the moment of his death, and he'll probably die of Rona or something. He even said it, I'll get disease and step down. Did he actually say that? Yes, he actually said that out loud, right? And that, Kamala was going to be their Wonder Girl, and Kamala isn't getting in either. All of these people, in varying degrees, are going to get theirs. Some of those, and did you notice that the Supreme Court and other federal agencies are making, like, it's no longer just hanging. They're getting lethal injection and firing squads approved. Let's see, for, because UCMJ, like I said, the penalty is not just a slap on the wrist or going to jail for a couple of years. The penalty for some of these are capital crimes. Some of these people are going to be put to death. And in fact, so many of them are going to be put to death that I don't think gallows is going to be sufficient. Just watch, like I'm saying. And it turns out, scuttlebutt is, Gitmo isn't going to be big enough to hold everybody. So they're currently scrambling to outfit another place that they can hold people. Enemy combatants. And there's going to be a lot of enemy combatants. Like I said, and that wasn't Trump that did that. Who was that? Who put that enemy combatants thing in there? The president being able to declare somebody an enemy combatant and not even have to tell them that he's declared them an enemy combatant. Who did that? Was that Obama? Was that Bush? Who did that? It wasn't Trump. Anyhow, big things. Fireworks are coming. Fireworks like you haven't seen in this country in quite a while are coming. There is no option. There is no other option. Because people have pointed out very clearly, yeah, if Trump somehow stepped down from office right now, they'd come and kill him. They'd come and either kill him and his family, or give him all manner of suit and try to charge him with all manner of crazy crimes. Right? They already tried to impeach him with no evidence and no. I mean, the ability to impeach. The fact that they impeached him on that was an embarrassment, actually. But the point is, if they do that, they will absolutely charge him with treason or charge. Right? Okay, so he can't lose. He can't step down. They both. This is a death match. Both teams hate each other. You pick one side or the other. Like I said, pick the right-hand path. And I've had a couple of people ask me how you know. Here's how you know. Nurtures children, that's right-hand path. Harms children, that's left-hand path. I was having this conversation with somebody recently because, taking the house apart and making it so that there's no man in the house and destroying the traditional family, does that harm children or does that help children? Geez, there's 100 of those simple litmus tests, but the easiest litmus test you can give is, does it harm children or does it nurture children? So you can easily check between left-hand path and right-hand path with just that much information. Okay, so there's plenty of stuff coming down the pike. Like I said, plenty of stuff. Be of good cheer. It's going to be exciting. There isn't going to be no casualties. There are going to be some casualties. Be prepared. If you're on the coast, you better have a grab and go bag. Be ready to get up, because if there was going to be some kind of, and I don't think there is, I honestly, doesn't mean that they're not prepared for it. Doesn't mean that there's a 0% chance, because there is a chance because they have prepared for this contingency. Clearly they are prepared for this contingency. But if there was going to be attacks on the United States using Chinese or, coming onto U.S. soil, dude, we've done this to everybody else. Have we done this to other countries? Absolutely, we've done this to other countries via the UN. If you don't think it can happen here after what we've done in Iraq and Afghanistan and Syria and Kosovo and African nations and South America, if you think that they wouldn't turn that same thinking and that same force onto U.S. soil, you're fooling yourself. Will they get away with it? I don't know. I don't think so, but the possibility is there. Anyway, the point being is, first place they're going to attack is ports, right? So Port of Los Angeles, Port of San Diego, big ports, San Francisco, Seattle, the big ports, that would be the first place. And then on the other coast, New York Harbor is no slouch, and Miami, and etc. Anyway, the idea being is that the best way to avoid is to just not be there, right? So at the first fucking sign of any kind of anything, grab your shit and get. Simple as that. And then what's in your grab and go bag and what's packed in your trunk and stuff like that? The stuff that you don't want to leave behind. Silver, family recipes, photo albums, basic documents like birth certificates and stuff like that you want to keep safe in dry pouches and so forth, your paperwork and so on, passports, right, licenses, titles, etc. That all should go. Anything that you don't want to leave in the house, right? All the stuff that, if you talk to people that have suffered through tornadoes and they come back and everything is gone, what are the things that they wish that they had or they wish they had taken care of? Usually it's photo albums, grandma's recipes, and then of course all the legal documents and so forth, right? Birth certificates, like I said, deeds and whatever, titles and insurances and so on, and all the information you need to get in touch with these people. Because I'm telling you, the chance that something happens is there. It's not zero. It's not high, and I doubt seriously, because they want the dogs fighting with each other. And if the UN or the Chinese were to come across the borders the way some of these people are saying, that would be the fastest way to unite the American people I can think of, right? A foreign enemy, except for the very few traitors. And then, yeah, we get to shoot at them too. But I doubt seriously they'd go that route, because it won't work. They want us divided, and that doesn't divide. That unites a country when you have foreign invaders. And further, millions and millions and millions and millions and millions and millions, and I haven't even come close, and millions of Americans own guns. Millions. So there would be support for our troops everywhere. As what I think it was Yamato that said, if you try to invade that country, there'll be a gun behind every blade of glass, every blade of grass, because there are. We own more guns. I think 49% of the guns on the planet are in the United States. Yeah, in the hands of civilians, not our military. So yeah, is it a possibility? It's a possibility, but I don't think it's a good possibility. That's just me. I could be wrong, and I hope I'm wrong. But the chances of that stuff happening, and I'll put some stuff down there because they are definitely planning for this. So you should plan for this. Prepare for the worst, expect the best, right? And then you can help by I bought a pack of these and I've been handing them out as Christmas treats. And it's not the value of the pen, it's what you write with it. And what you're going to write is when they hand you a document that tries to contract with you, you're going to use this red pen and you're going to write no contract on the document. That's it. You're not going to fight. You're not going to try to state your case for being a sovereign. You're not going to do any of that. You're just going to write no contract. And then if you've got your paperwork in advance, it'll probably just go away. If you don't have your paperwork in advance, this would be a great time to get your paperwork in to let various people know that the service corporations don't get to manage your estate. Pretty simple. Okay, I've been going for an hour. I think that's more than enough, actually, this time. I might make another one. There's been so many times when I wanted to make a video, and I was like, I'll just let it sit because, yeah. And now we find out that many of the things that happened or that you thought were happening just aren't going to happen or didn't happen. There's been so much, and see, this is the thing, so much disinfo. How much disinfo? I can't even name all the disinfo that's out there because there's so much of it. So don't think that they are going to make it so that you can tell the difference between the truth and a lie easily. Well, basically you can. If you're on CNN, most likely they're lying. Have you seen now that they have gotten to the point where it's not even disinfo anymore. It's straight up bald face lying. And I looked that up. Is it bold face or bald face? Bald face is more common. Both are acceptable, but bald is more common. Anyway, but the idea being is that, yeah, they have absolutely, positively co-opted our media, and the media will tell you whatever they say is often the opposite of what happened. I mean, it's crazy. Okay, so there's that portion of it. In the next 90 days, once this all comes to pass, or once this is all finished, what you're going to see, I believe, is, and they're going to scream the whole time after when Trump gets back in that it's treason, that he stole the election. They're already trying to say that they're overturning an election, or they're trying to overturn an election. There was no election. The results were never certified. There's nothing to overturn. They're still trying to decide. That's gaslighting. They're still trying to decide what the fuck happened. Simple as that. Neither side is overturning the election. The election is disputed, and we'll see what happens when it comes to that. Either side, well, I'm not going to say either side could prevail. One side's going to prevail. It's as simple as that. And these guys have absolutely painted themselves in the corner in the media to the point where they are bold-faced lying, censoring here on YouTube, censoring all over the internet on various social media platforms and so forth. And that's all coming to an end. We're going to get the country back. You can help. And one of the ways you can help is by getting your damn paperwork in and forcing these service corporations to serve. And to do their job. And members of the service corporations that have violated your inalienable rights need to be held to an account. And you can do this as part. And see, part of my letters, I don't have them here to read to you, but part of the reason why I'm expatriating from U.S. corporation, right, from United States, and I'm allowed to, is because they have decided not to uphold my inalienable rights. They have decided to absolutely ignore their oaths to uphold the Constitution in favor of upholding rules and orders by governors, rules and orders that violate the Constitution, rules and orders that violate their gubernatorial license, rules and orders, fuck. And state after state government after government, Supreme Court after Supreme Court has said, yeah, like even in California, yeah, these orders violate the Constitution. They violate state constitution, federal constitution. A lot of times they've just been repealed. They're null and void. Governors can't do what they're doing. Even with the emergency acts, the emergencies do not vitiate the Constitution. Simple as that. Fraud does. Lies do. And this is the thing. You're in no position to even allege fraud. You can't even point the finger and allege fraud. Because you don't have standing. So what you need to do is get yourself to the point where you have standing, which means you have paperwork that needs doing. I've been talking about this for months now. Make sure you do the paperwork correctly. And by the way, informing them that you're alive and claiming your estate isn't going to get you in trouble. What gets you in trouble is writing bonds. What gets you in trouble is trying to lien judges. What gets you in trouble is stupid shit. Or trying to access money that you have no ability to access, right? And see, that's one of the things that we talk about, or you don't have the right to access. That's one of the things that I think April June was talking about, which talks about the red thumb drive versus the blue thumb drive. Once you've secured your inalienable rights, once you've gotten recognition to the fact that you're a man, not a corporate fiction, once you've done that, then you can begin accusing, you can begin leveling charges, you have standing in court. And then once you do that also, if that's not your aim, because a lot of you I know don't have any interest in joining in the fight, etc. But if you're trying to get your Social Security, the bonds they've written on you, I found at least $100,000 in bonds that have been written on me, more than that actually. So if you want to try and claim those bonds, well, you need to get this other stuff done first. Otherwise, you're the one being fraudulent. Even though your name's on the bond. It's fucking crazy. Holy crap, you guys are going to town over here. Let's see here. Oh my. The process. Well, are you talking about their style of process that they're supposed to be in, or are you talking about the process that I'm talking about? My process is basically taking pen to paper and letting various agencies know that I'm a living man, not the legal fiction that they unlawfully converted me into. And see, then taking a look. All right, so does that make me a non-resident alien? Does that make me a state citizen? Does that make, no, it looks like it makes me a United States citizen. See, they got us so confused, don't even know what to call ourselves. I know I'm not a US person. Okay, so if I'm not a US person, what am I? What I am is American national, one that was born on the North American continent, from parents that were born on the North American continent, from whose parents were born on the North American continent, save one that was born in Lithuania. And then you go back another generation, still everybody born in the American continent, except for that grandparents' parents, obviously, because they were born in Lithuania. But all the other lines, there's four, right? Mom and dad on both sides of the parents. All the other lines are Americans going back for generations. Some of them as free men, some of them as slaves, some of them as immigrants that came all the way back in 1849. But yeah, we've been here a while. And these guys basically took and converted in 1933 everybody into chattel property for the government, for the U.S. corporation, United States corporation. You are the full faith and credit. They write the bonds on you. They don't make it out of thin air. They're writing bonds on you every month. And now pretty much people have begun to figure out that, wait a minute, something's amiss here. I might need to take a look at this history that they told me, because of course they put you in public school and gave you public school education and gave you the revisionist history that told you all about how it was great to be a slave and you like being a slave. And they don't even tell you how to write your name. They don't even tell you where to sign your name. You didn't know, or at least I didn't, that there was a difference in whether you signed it on the left side of the paper or the right side of the paper, the top of the paper, or the bottom of the paper. They didn't tell you anything about that. They didn't tell you what size that the difference between this sheet of paper and this sheet of paper. Do you see the difference there? Oh yeah, one's a legal sheet of paper, one's a letter, and one's a legal document. So why are you trying to get your stuff done using this kind of paper? Oh, what about that green stuff? Yeah, there's something to do with that, using green. Interesting that this just so happens it's in green, isn't it? Interesting that this just so happens is green. Why isn't it pink? Why isn't it brown? Why isn't it red? Why isn't it yellow? Why isn't it orange? Why is it green? Anyway, all right. I really am. I'm done. I'm playing Duolingo. I'm losing for the first time. I'm going to come in second place to this crazy person that does thousands of points every day. But Duolingo, check out Duolingo. It's pretty fun. I'm getting kicked off of Facebook. Well, I've been kicked off of Facebook. I got a 30-day ban on one, and it won't be long before I have a couple of handles, like many people do, and all of them are going to get 86th. I think one comes back on Christmas Day. But if you want to find me on Facebook, CREWTON Ramone is easy to find on Facebook. I'm the only one. That's why I use CREWTON Ramone. If you want to look up CREWTON Ramone on the internet, go look up CREWTON Ramone on the internet. I'm the only one. It is unique on the entire internet. 100 Monkey, not unique. Ben Rogers, absolutely not unique. All the other names and stuff that's out there, not unique, but CREWTON Ramone is unique. So if you want to follow me, find me on Duolingo, CREWTON Ramone on Duolingo. Actually, I think it's CREWTON Ram on Duolingo because it doesn't give you the whole name. CREWTON Ramone on the internets, though, Google will show you that. And all you want to get in touch with me, that's the easiest, fastest way to get in touch with me. Also here, you can leave messages under these videos and we can talk that way. I don't always answer, and I didn't realize, anyway, there's a lot of videos in the past that have comments and stuff like that I could have answered, but I didn't see them for like years because I didn't know. Let's put it that way. But now I do. And then, like I said, Facebook is one way to communicate, and it's going to be all of those things going to be taken back. Facebook was a psyop that was fantastic because they got people to put all manner of stuff voluntarily about themselves on their Facebook page, and then you thought that it was private, just like people have figured out that the messages on Facebook not private at all. I don't know why you would think they were, but okay. Anyhow. No, if it's gone across, your email is not private. None of it's private. They have everything. And this is the thing that keeps the refrain that I keep putting on Facebook and other social media, and I'll put it right here. What part of we have everything don't you understand? They have everything. If it left your computer, they have every data packet. There was a place there where one of the Special Forces guys said under oath in front of, I don't remember which one it was. It was either Pennsylvania or maybe it was Michigan, or maybe it was Arizona. But anyway, he basically said, because there were so many hours of testimony, I just quit watching because, I mean, that's what it's for. It's to distract you. Look, there was vote fraud. That's all you need to know. Huge amounts of vote fraud. And it was a huge sting in the first place. This was not just, they cakewalked, they sleptwalked into another trap. You couldn't show that there was vote fraud if there's no vote fraud. Just like I can't sue anybody if there's no cause of action. So I have to go someplace where they'll tell me to put a mask on or refuse me service for not wearing a mask or not allow me to travel or whatever before I can sue them, right? Now, before I do all of that, I need to get my paperwork in, you see? So that when I have that, then I go there and then I can say, look, I've already done this. This isn't just me standing at the checkout counter being a jerk, or this isn't me on the side of the road in the middle of the night with a guy with a gun in the rain saying that I don't consent. Right? No, my paperwork is already in. Get it? All right. So the idea being is that you got to get your shit together first. So you got to get your paperwork done first, and then you can start having cause of action if you want to. But yeah, there's the concept is very simple. That they have everything. They have all of it. The guy sat there and said all the data packets. They have the servers. They have all the information. They have the original information that shows that Trump probably had, what, 410 electoral college votes when it was all said and done because of all the states that he had. Looks like California flipped, and they flipped it back. Looks like Minnesota flipped, and they flipped it back. Looks like Virginia flipped. Actually, I don't know if that was a flip. I think Virginia was already in the fold. But Georgia, he didn't win Georgia. Arizona, he didn't win Arizona. Wisconsin, he didn't win Wisconsin. Pennsylvania, he didn't win Michigan, he didn't win that. California, nope. State after state that they marked blue, nope. And now it's starting to come out that it wasn't just vote fraud in those states. It's been vote fraud, subtle vote fraud in all 50 states and many, many, many countries. And who's behind it? CIA pulling their strings. See, because the CIA is an operation that handles CCP, was handling North Korea, was handling all manner of different places, because you need boogeymen, right? And they were in cahoots with the big corporations that we call the military-industrial complex to sell weapons. This is all about money, right? It's not. It's all about control, but it's basically boils down to money, boils down to dollar hegemony in the Middle East and elsewhere, wherein that organization was controlling the bad guys, making the bad and the newspapers to write stories about the bad guys and so forth, to make sure that you guys were willing to have all that tax money go into military budget. Simple, right? Now you're going to see they're taking on all of them, and you want to make it sound like it's just Trump. It's not Trump. It's Trump and special forces. It's Trump and Space Force. It's Trump and behind the scenes guys that you have no idea about, right? The puppet masters and the puppet. See, what is it? I think I'll put the link down below. Hopefully, you can still watch it. David Wilcock talking about the acrimonious divorce, but that's what it is. Our masters are fighting with each other. One side had one vision and one side had a different vision. I don't like either vision. I don't see any good guys in this fight. They want you working. They want you being slaves. They don't want you understanding that you're a man. They don't want you being spiritual. They don't want you ascending. They want you right here. They want your energy right here on prime material planet Earth for them to use to their best advantage. They don't want you waking up. You wake up here, you can take some of that wake up with you. Let's put it that way. But for the most part, even if you wake, they still have the ability to, well, you agree, let's put it that way, to this whole thing. You made the agreement when you came that you weren't going to remember everything. And it's besides no fun anyway. If you knew everything that was going on and you had full memory of other lifetimes, yeah, that one that gets confusing. How many lives? Like an actor usually plays one part in the play, in a movie, usually. Sometimes they do it on purpose to make it so that you can see that the actor is playing different parts. But overall, in a play on Broadway or wherever it is, you play one part. Okay. Same thing here. You play one part, and the difference is you don't remember all the other parts you played because that makes it difficult to play this part. Further, this is the proving ground. So when you are proving that you can do what's right and you can make the right choices, even when there is lots of people trying to fool you and deceive you, you can still do what's right based on very simple criteria. Does it harm children? Does it nurture children? Is that right? Is it wrong? Is that the truth? Is that a lie? This stuff's not hard. See, what they've done is they made it difficult, and many of your friends have been confused to the point where they can't tell the lie from the truth. They can't figure out who the treasonous traitors are. They can't figure out who the baby killers are. They can't figure out who's harming children. They can't figure it out. They've been so confused. They look at the picture, and they're told what they're seeing, even though their eyes see something else. But what they're told by somebody of authority contradicts what they see with their own eyes, and they'll believe the person they've given the illusion of authority to. That was the whole point. Our whole school system, our whole system is designed to make you think that there are others who have authority over you, and that you can't govern yourself, and that you need these people. And all right. Anyway, like I said, this preaching to the choir, no fun. But the idea is that, yeah, they have been discovered. People are waking up all over. You can get information from me. You can get information from April or June. David Wilcock. David, I'd say David Windmiller, but no. The concept is there, but the execution is poor. Let's put it that way. But the idea, they understand that, yeah, the concept that you're a man and that there are people that you need to inform you're a man, but that parse syntax, that's just going to get you in trouble. Patrick Devine, obviously, Jonah Bay. Let me go down the list, or some of the list, because Tariq is another one. And of course, I don't have the documents here handy, or maybe I do. They're piled up all over the freaking place. You should see this house, complete disaster area, because I still haven't got my, ooh, there it is. Haven't got my, oh, because it's open. My house cleaned up because I'm still in crazy document mode. Yeah, making declarations and so forth about, Richard Cornforth is another one, good one to see. There are so many people out there now that have woken up and have started to figure it out. And if you watch enough of it, you'll see everybody basically says the same thing in a slightly different manner. And then some people have processed down better than others. Some people have figured out that, yeah, people that are telling you to write these huge, long documents, yeah, no. What you want is, I'll show you this one more time. Yeah, there's that. Anyway. But find these people, study their stuff, and then quit being chicken and do what it takes to get yourself out from the whore of Babylon. It's as simple as that. You're going to need to read law. You're going to need to read a bunch of different books. Oh, my God. You're going to need to read the founding documents. And then the documents that they wrote about the founding documents. Because there's plenty of founding fathers that weren't real keen on that Constitution. That's why we have the Bill of Rights. And as far as they're concerned, the Bill of Rights didn't go far enough. And then there was one founding father that basically said, yeah, we should put something in here with regard to medical tyranny, or in the future they're going to use it. And he turned out to be very, very prescient, didn't he? Because, yeah, they figured out that they could... Oh, here's a good set of notes, that they figured out that they could very much make it so that we would bow to them because, for our safety, which is what the Germans did, which is what the Nazis did. It's like they did everything for our safety. Oh, there's another one, Taj Tariq. There's another guy. It's great. I would suggest you watch some of his videos and get some of his stuff and read some of the things that he talks about. But basically, it's the same all the way through. And then these guys talk about doing commerce, and you give them the VIN number for the vehicle, and they pay for the vehicle. Because once you start to understand that there is no money, we have only currency, we have only evidence of debt. So once you get that down, your mind should change. But the idea being is that before you do that, before you do any of this stuff where you set up accounts and you try to access your share of the United States Treasury and all that other stuff, get your freaking status changed. Get them to recognize that you're a man. Get them to recognize that you are, according to that whole, okay, there's 3 temples. We've gone over this. There's a temple in Rome, there's a temple in London, and there's a temple in DC. All right, those 3 temples basically rule the world. And the Chinese resent it. So do the Japanese. So do a lot of Africans. But and the Indians too. Make no mistake that those 3 temples are running the show for the most part when it comes to quote unquote the civilized world. All right. So in those 3 temples, you need to let the temple in Rome know. No. I even have some documents there where you basically are letting them know that they're claiming your soul is bogus, or that you don't recognize it. But the main temple that you need to deal with right now is the one in DC. You need to make them understand that, yeah, you guys are statute merchants and you guys pretty much got control of all this, but I just want to be able to safe harbor. I want to be able to travel. I want to be able to move from A to B on this planet without being harassed by you. I want to be able to convey myself on the roadways without permission and without license. I want to be able to, right? Okay, so there's documents that you need to write so that you can just be a free man. Now, if you want to be part of the corporation, that's a whole other animal and beyond my purview. And how to get all this stuff done exactly right, also beyond my purview, because from what I can see, the people that have managed to come out, some of them by accident or, you know, by hook or by crook or by, like me, when I was beefing with the IRS, I just happened to get lucky on that one. Not really, but I mean, yeah, because I happened to use some of the right words. Even at the time, I didn't know what fucking words meant. I do now. But the idea is that you need to let people know ahead of time about the fact that you're a man or a woman. Okay, and then once you get that stuff and once you get recognized, then you can start fooling around with VINs and tapping your Social Security and getting that stuff right. But before all of that, you need to get it settled and then accounts set up, right? And then if you want to engage in commerce, it gets tricky after that because it's all about commerce, right? But I've been engaging in commerce basically via math education. But really, when you get down to it, those are private contracts. See, and that's the thing. When I was in other countries, there are countries that say, I can't teach math legally. Okay. Lawfully, I can teach math, but legally. Okay. But there is no country that says that you and I can't make a contract. So if you want to pay me to teach your child math, the government's got no shit to say about that. Nothing. I don't have to pass a test. Right? Now, if it turns out I'm shit at teaching math and your child isn't learning anything from me, you have a right to renege the contract. You might even ask for your money back or quit paying me in the future. But they don't have the ability to tell us whether or not we can contract. If you sell vegetables and I want to buy vegetables, government hasn't got a fucking thing to say about that. If you have a hammer that I want to buy and you decide that the price is $5 and I tell you it's $4, and you decide, nope, $4 isn't good enough, that's your prerogative, right? Government doesn't have the right to tell you to sell it to me for $5. Government doesn't have a right, but they do, obviously, to say, oh, well, you sold that hammer to him for $5, give us 50 cents, please, right? And that's what they do all the time. Whenever we transact, they try to take a piece of it. That's why we're the Duracells. And see, you agree to that. So what you have to do is, I don't agree to that anymore. Oh, come on, we're going to use the 50 cents to build roads. Anyway, and you're like, oh, well, okay, then you can have the 50 cents. Oh, for fuck's sake, people. Anyway, all right, I'm done. I'm just babbling at this point. Thanks for watching. Thanks for all the support. Thanks for the Patreons. I think I got like 26 bucks in Patreon. Woo! I've noticed that my traffic on Facebook and on my website is up because people are checking out, what the fuck is this CREWTON RAMONE guy? Mathematics, motherfuckers. If the nation could do mathematics, we wouldn't be in this problem, in this set of circumstance right now, would we? Oh, and I'll close with, well, I won't close, but the idea that my son wanted to, apparently it's Red Nose Day or something like that, or this week, I don't know when it is. Anyway, there's the thing where they put the red nose on in public schools, and he has friends that are in public schools. And what are they doing? They're asking them to donate money to the food bank, and I wouldn't let him. I said, fuck that. You don't, a 15-year-old is not responsible to make it so that these idiots that put masks on to the point where they killed themselves, they killed their own fucking businesses being obedient, and now they can't even fucking feed themselves. What the hell? They can't even feed themselves. That's not your problem. That's not your fault. And if you feel like you should do something about that, that's nice, but I'm not going to let you. Because where do you ultimately get your money? From me. And these food banks, fuck these guys. I mean, fuck these guys. Yeah, I feel sorry for them because the circumstances beyond their control. But if everybody that was standing in line for the food bank wouldn't have fucking put the mask on in the first fucking place and wouldn't have obeyed their idiot governors and their rules and orders, they wouldn't be standing in the fucking food line in the first fucking place, would they? No, they wouldn't. So don't ask me for money. I know it's Christmas. Oh, charitable, no, the Christ, no, the baby Jesus, and all that stuff. Yeah, whatever. You guys feel like donating to the food bank so your fucking idiot friends can survive because of their obedience? Fine, but that's just not me. Simple as that. And I don't give a shit what people have to say about it. I mean, you were so fucking stupid that you put a mask on to the point where now you can't feed your children. then you're gonna go hungry, as far as I'm concerned. Because that was just stupid, and it's still being stupid. Do you see the guy on national television tested Coca-Cola, and it came back positive? They tested goats and fruit. They're lying to you. They're lying to you. They're lying to you. And I see now, because of the mask mandate here in the state of Hawaii, that people are wearing them in their cars now. People are wearing them by themselves. I see actually a dichotomy now, because there's also a lot more people walking around without a mask on. And there's a lot more people in certain circumstances without a mask on. But then I go like to the farmer's market, or you go to any store on this island, and they won't even let you in if you don't have a mask on. And they look at you like you're crazy, right? So they've made it customary for you to wear a mask now, right? And custom trumps everything. Anyhow, I keep saying I'm going to quit. I'm going to quit. All right. That's an hour and a half. I probably should have given you more information. Oh, and I should have done it where, just look underneath. I'll put it in the description. I had figured out how to put it over here in the comments, but I'll just put this one here just for fun right now. Hold on a second. Do I have it? Why, yes, I do. Oh, no, I don't, because it's not up. What? It's going to be in my history. And I hope they didn't 86 it, because as far as I can tell, if you go down at my liked videos, there are so many holes, it's crazy. And no. See, it's not there. All right. Yes. All right. Here we go. It's the last live video that he did. It's pretty fun. It should be there. Let's see here. This is how long it takes me to find it. Let's see here. Past live streams. There you go. Found it. Okay. All right, stop it. That's the music they put on for their. All right, so here. I would suggest you watch this if you haven't already. I'm pretty sure most of you guys here are David Wilcock people, right? Yep. Have a good rest of your Sunday. You guys enjoy yourselves. It's not exactly a bright, sunny, hot day in Hawaii, but what is it, 70s? It's fine. Life happy. Hope it's good wherever you are. I know it's kind of cold. I have a client in Boston that was telling me that it warmed all the way up to 30 degrees today, and they were excited about it because it wasn't so bone-chilling cold. My favorite part of the whole thing when it comes to winter on the mainland is watching it from here in Hawaii, because I don't do cold at all. Anyway, for you guys that love the winter and so forth, hope you're having a fun time. I understand there's quite a bit of snow on the ground in a lot of different places where you go skiing and playing and sledding and so forth. Be of good cheer. Like I said, turn off the TV. Bottom line is the election, yeah, that happened. Trump's going to be in the White House. They had to allow them to steal it for them to show you that they stole it and to bust all the people that have been stealing elections. 16, they put some in place. 18, they put some in place. And 2020 is when the fell swoop happens, as they say. What did Sun Tzu say, right? You keep your plans as dark as night, and then you fall like lightning. The lightning hasn't fallen yet, but it's coming. All right, 100 Monkey out. Hope some of this information was useful to you. Like I said, one of the first letters you write is IRS. Let them know that you're not dead. But there are other letters to write to let people know of your status and the fact that you're a living man or woman that need to be written also. And don't forget to write risk management. And again, as you'll see, what was that site? A Warrior Calls, and that other one, Redress for Dummies. They all will tell you, you can't start any kind of process when it comes to suit without notice. You first have to give notice. Gentlemen always give notice. So you have to give notice first. Hey, I'm going to sue you. And I won't sue you if you can show me this, this, and this. Right? because this is why I want to sue you. So we can avoid everything, right, administratively here on paper before we walk into a court of law. If you can show me that you are not in contempt of the Constitution, if you're not in violation of Title 18, this section, 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 if you have authority to usurp the Constitution by governor's orders, that you're not in violation of your oath of office, etc. Right? You just make it really simple and really fucking reasonable, so that any reasonable man would see this and say, right? Okay, all right. We'll see you guys soon. What is this? Probably another one next week. Like I said, there were so many that I wanted to make over the last 2 weeks, and I let it go. And it turned out that, yeah, it was good to keep silent because disinfo is flying high right now. So educate yourself so that you can educate others. Prepare. Oh my God, prepare. Because what comes, just prepare. Have food, have water, have an exit plan. Especially if you live on the coast. If you're in the middle of the country, not too much problem. Just prepare like you would prepare for any other hard winter or anything like that where you want to have food. But prepare for that. Get your documents in order and be of good cheer. Things are happening that are so positive, I can't even tell you. I'm practically giddy. Like I said, things are great. Things are better than great. Things are better than excellent. So be better than excellent. Talk to you guys soon.